You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused podcast. We are at the worship gathering hosted by Josh Hurt. And the first one on the list that we're going to interview tonight is the one and only Dre Coop.
Hey, what's happening? Yeah. I'm greedy. I had to get in the chair first before all these superstars come.
Mr. Y.O. Productions himself.
Yes, sir. Sir.
So what are you looking forward to for tonight, man?
I don't know. I heard this was the first one.
Oh, okay.
You know, it being the first one, I heard last night was on fire, so I'm looking for tonight to be like super fire.
Hey, so not to change things up, bro, but you got a big event too.
Oh yeah.
Instead of music, it's gonna be laughing. So tell San Antonio about that, man. The Leave Them Laughing Comedy Jam. Yes,
man. I gotta let you know. Put together a fire concert. It's a comedy concert. Leave Them Laughing Comedy Jam. I'm telling you, I got Miss Benita Ward, superfood. She's a superfood, but I love her to death. Miss Delisha Ellis and Mr. Bobby Smith. I love him. You had Bobby Smith on last week.
Oh yeah, we had him the other day, man. Y'all want to laugh? Make sure y'all check out that episode, man.
Man, he's gonna be on the show, and I got the voice of angels, man. I got Miss Wendy Godley for singing.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
So
and
she can sing too. She can sing too.
You know Wendy Godley?
Man, I better know.
You better know. Wendy can sing up behind all. Also got I got Miss Glow for the MC, but I got DJ Vino on the ones and twos.
Hey, shout out to DJ Vino, man.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Man, since we got you, Dre, I mean, people know you from South by Southwest, Kingdom Experience. We never really had an opportunity to interview you.
Yeah, well, I'm here now.
So let me ask you some questions, man.
Before you start, I'm just going to point out to all your loving audience, I was on the show with Bobby Smith, but you'll never know it because he didn't ask me no questions. He said, cool, you going to come out, you going to be on there, and I came out and didn't get asked nothing. Just want that to know. Oh, the comedy show is next week on Friday, by the way. It's on Friday. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Tickets $15 before. And that's only if you get with me. And it's 20 at the door. Come on out. All right.
And we're let's pump the brakes, bro. Where can they buy some tickets, man?
Well, listen, if they want to get them pre-sale, they got to get them through me now. Hit me up on Facebook at Dre Coop. Instagram, Dre, D-R-A-Y, Coop.
And your email?
Nah.
No email? Just social media? It's kind of late.
Hit me on social media.
So if you wait in the fourth quarter, it's a little bit too late. You got to go social media.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, come on to the door, man. We got you.
Well, yes, sir. Well, starting things out, man. Got to come correct because I didn't ask you that many questions. You kind of hiding it from Bobby Smith, but right now is your moment to shine.
Yeah.
Right now is your moment to shine. Tell us about Dre Coop and what you do, man.
Man, listen. For my 9 to 5, I'm a radio DJ. And for my other 5 to other 5, I'm CBC photography. I'm a DJ. I'm an actor. I'm an event planner, concert promoter, comedy show, giddy upper. I'm all that stuff. I don't want to fix cars no more, but yeah, I do that too.
That's your side hustle right there.
That's my side when I can't do nothing else hustle, bro.
Hey, I know the struggle, man. You gotta have that side hustle sometimes, man. Ain't nothing wrong with multiple revenues.
Multiple streams of revenue, boy. When they start coming in, it's great, but when they slow down,
that's why you gotta come to a worship gathering service like this so you can get a prayer up there, man.
My gosh, yes you do. Sometimes, man, you gotta sit still. That's the hard part.
You know, that's real, man. Yeah, I like you going in that direction. When it comes to your faith, man, what's some of the things that you do on a daily basis to keep your head on straight?
When it comes to my faith, man, I really have to just believe that I'm not and God is. Yeah. If I can't do nothing else, I can believe that God is and He answers questions. He answers prayers. And sometimes, here's the crazy thing, sometimes the answer is no.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They think that God is all about yes. And it says that, He's about yes and amen. But the thing is, that's if it's according to His will.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But you be asking things, man, like I was asking God, let me hit the lotto.
That's the wrong question.
I still ask to this day. I mean, every now and then I jump on that lotto and say, Lord, if it's your will, wake up the next day. It wasn't his will.
Oh man, we bring the comedy jam right here at the Worship Gathering, hosted by Josh Hurt. I want to give a big shout out to Josh Hurt, man.
Yeah.
We get him tonight. I mean, he's been running with his head cut off all week, man. Really all month, man. So I want to be real big huge shout out to Josh Hurt, man. That's a little quick commercial break for that. But no, back to you, Dre.
Yeah, no, Josh Hurt. Let's really give him his real quick.
Oh yeah,
Josh has been running all week long, but this is what y'all need to know about Josh. Josh comes with the fire. He is not your average get up here and sing the worship and Lord, that man will run the whole stage.
Yes, he will.
All night long. I love it. But yeah, big ups to Josh Hurt, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Josh Hurt, for inviting I Am Refocused podcast to do some interviews at this amazing event. If y'all can't tell right now, there's a lot of people coming up here right now. We just getting started. So, you know, what's amazing about you, Dre, man? Remember that one video we shot? Go get it.
Hey, I really do, man. You said that we needed to do something during the summer.
Yeah.
I was a little lack on it, but I'm telling you, we're getting ready to do one. When I say we, I'm talking about you and me.
Okay.
We're getting ready to do one called Follow Me.
Hey, tell me when, because it's done. It's official. Breaking news.
Follow me.
Oh, is this gonna be a rap? This gonna be like a rap, another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I can't sing.
No. Because I remember last time you said you want to do like a singing thing with like a little collab with somebody. Or something
I don't want nobody to know that's my face when I'm singing. I don't want to put that on video. Follow me.
Hey.
Follow me.
Hey.
Follow me.
I like that. But no, we gonna have to get in the lab so we can get that knocked out. Is this gonna be a 2019 type deal, or are you gonna try to squeeze it in at the end of the year?
I'm gonna go ahead and start writing on it. You know, I'll be freestyling and sounding like crap, but I'm gonna write on it.
Thank God for lyrics.
Write on it. This is gonna be the first, if nothing else, it'll be the first part of 2019, so we can show them that it's really ready, man. It's fun. It's fun doing videos with you, man.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, here's the thing about this whole thing, Worship Gathering, I'm trying to tie everything back into this event, man. Shout out to Josh Hurt. I'm going to say that every interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Josh Hurt. What's amazing about this whole situation is everybody coming up here, they're not just coming to perform, man. Wow. They're coming to pay dues.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Without God in any of our lives, man, we ain't got nothing.
I believe that in Josh's, with his presentation, what Josh is trying to show you is that you don't have to sit down and you don't have to be that crying worshiper. He's trying to show you that God created you. He created you uniquely, and if you have to jump around, if you have to sing, if you have to scream, if you have to kick a chair over, and it's your worship, God wants your honest worship.
Yes, sir.
And he wants that worship to knock doors down. I'm with that, Josh. God dog it, I'm with it. Oh yeah, so I brought tickets too. Anyway, go ahead.
No, you good, man. Yo, we are talking to Dre Coop, Mr. Y.O Productions. Hey, real quick commercial for yourself before we wrap up this interview with you, man. How can people contact you if they want some Y.O Production services, man?
Man, listen, if you want Y.O Production services, contact me on my Facebook, Dre Coop, that's DRECOOP, Instagram, DRAYCOOP. And listen, I'm going to go ahead and give you my email. It's Dre210, DRAY/210. No, DRAY210.
Say that one more time.
DRAY210@gmail.com. Yeah. Man, get at me. I also do video. I also do photography. I do radio. If y'all need my services, man, holla at me. If you are an up-and-comer and your money's not steep, holla at me, man.
That's a good tagline. Man, you know what? I can see that on a business card.
Yeah. If your money ain't steep, get with your boy.
All right, man. All jokes aside, man, we just want to say this Worship Gathering event hosted by Josh Hurt is about to be the biggest. It's right here, Resurrection Baptist Church, RBC. Shout out to Ray Brown, the pastor here. He about to throw down. I'm gonna have Dre come back later on tonight just to check up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit down on a couple of the interviews and ask them some crazy questions like, do they eat peanut butter and jelly? Do you still eat the ramen? I don't know. I'm just, because I'm a ramen noodle eater. I know about money not being steep. I'm just saying.
In those college days, it was like that, man.
Oh,
you lucky.
I'm still a college student. I still eat them, boy.
Dre just give me a little teaser of this laughing. Oh, my bad. I almost made it another title, man. It's Leave 'em Laughing Comedy Jam coming to y'all September 28th. This podcast is coming up way before that, so you ain't got no excuse. You better dig in those pockets or ask your mom, your cousin, your brother, or sister for some money, because this event is going to be the main guy, Bobby Smith. He's super funny. If you don't believe that, listen to the last episode. But nah, man, Dre Coop.
Most definitely.
Appreciate you being on here.
Man, thank you for having me.
This night kicked off. We kicked off with the cool guy, the coolest one in the land of San Antonio, 210. Hey, we'll be right back. You listen to I'm Refocused Podcast.
Bam!
Hey, we are back. I Am Refocused Podcast. We are here still tonight. Got my boy Dre Coop. What's up, man?
What up?
And we have a artist, Miss Nia Washington.
Hey.
You were on stage killing it, man, tonight.
Thanks.
I'm going to give a big shout out to Josh Hurt. Every single interview, I'm going to just do it, man.
Go ahead.
But tell us, man, how's the experience there? How's it going? Because I'm kind of stuck here with my boy Dre. How's it going tonight so far?
It is going phenomenally. I'm loving the flow. I'm loving how worshipers who don't know each other personally can come together and have one goal in mind, and that's to worship the Lord, our awesome God.
And you were worshiping, but can we just start off by introducing who you are?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to warm up. See, Dre, I'm trying to warm him up, man.
Yes.
All right, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Nia Washington. That's N-A-I Washington. And I currently reside in Fort Worth, Texas, which is about 15 minutes away from Dallas. I sing and I lead worship at a church called Koinonia Christian Church. I'm one of the leads at the church, so I'm not like the leader, but and I'm also an artist who is pursuing a career in Christian ministry, and I'll be releasing a single soon. So.
Oh, you haven't released a single yet?
I will be releasing one before the year is out. I just need to get it mixed and mastered, that whole process.
I just want to put a plug in right here. Shemaya Production Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Shoots phenomenal videos. Just so you know, if you need a video for your music,
This little car.
go ahead.
Boom.
Just like that. But he shoots phenomenal videos.
And not just that, man, not just that. My boy Dre Coop, he does radio. So you need some rotation.
Yeah.
He got you covered.
Gospel radio.
Absolutely.
I'm a musical artist and all kinds of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't sing, so don't trip now. But if you got something, that you need a little rap to, want to move them a little bit, holla at me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I will definitely keep you in mind. It's so good to connect with people who have skills and talents that I may need one day,
Yeah, I think I may need yours too. See that thing there that he flipped over?
Nah,
Bam.
you see, I didn't want people to forget what they were. Because people are walking by, I don't want them to think it was a comedy going on there.
Right.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, I present musical artists in my comedy shows. So
Awesome.
just so you know.
His resume is like 10 pages long.
That's what's up. Well, just so you know, I typically sing and play my acoustic when I sing. I didn't bring it this time because the song that I chose to sing, I don't know how to play, but...
Oh, man, I might get you. I might get you. Well, let me get one of your cards, so I might get you here.
But speaking of your project that you said will be coming out in the future, can we get a little sneak peek? Can you tell us a little about it?
Yes. So the project will be entitled Alone Time, and the goal of the project is to encourage people to be in the presence of the Lord consistently. It's a daily thing. He is our daily bread. He is our living water. And there are things that we should do every day. Brush our teeth and sleep, There are things that we do. Well, in Him, we live, move, and we have our being. So we need spend time with the Lord every day in His Word, in prayer. If He calls you to fast, go ahead and do that too. So that's what it is. Alone time. Be on the lookout.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Oh, no. When it comes to you engaging the crowd, the listeners out there in the seats, what's that one thing that you hope they take away every time you hit that stage?
The one thing that I hope that they take away is just that when I get up there, I'm really making an effort that to live for the Lord, to live a life of integrity. So you are not supporting and listening to someone who is faking it. It's real out here in my streets. You know what I mean? Like, I love God, and I can't do. I've seen my life without Him, but I'd rather have life with Him. My life without Him was horrible, and so I need Him, good times, bad times. And so whenever you listen to me, whatever I'm singing, it's coming from a real, actual place.
So, speaking of being real, and I'm going to ask a real question, do you find yourself struggling or having to go back and repent at the times that you're trying to live right? Is there a time that you're just not doing right, somebody done pushed the button, and you're like, oh, Lord, shabba-dabba-dabba-doo.
You driving San Antonio.
Don't shake your head. Tell them, yeah.
I am. I'm going there. I am a whole human being.
All right now.
And I believe that repentance is something that we have to do every single day.
Man.
Even a just man falls.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And so, but I am the one who will put it before the feet of Jesus and say, Lord, you know, I messed up. I did X, Y, Z, and I need you. You know, I need you to forgive me. So repentance is a daily thing.
Well, I know that one good because this mouth here, I'm thankful he ain't took my voice yet, because I say things that I know I need to repent on, and I'm just it's a daily struggle. But when you are on stage, I do want to let you know this, just because who you are. Your whole presentation was worship. You were worship. I'm a praiser, but you were worshiping, and you took us to that worship moment. Is that difficult for you? Is it difficult for you to take? I mean, do you ever get up on stage still feeling the world on you and like you want to curse, but you have to worship? Do you ever get up on stage in that?
Well, I don't feel like I want to necessarily curse or do anything, but I think one of the things that I have to run away from every single day is comparison. And insecurity. Because I have a different style, I have a different tone, I'm amongst people who can squall and sing and do runs and all of that, and I have to tell myself, you know, you are enough. Whatever the Lord has given me, it is enough. Worship is not a particular genre or a sound.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? It's lifting up a holy king.
Yeah. And
I don't have to be your taste. I don't have to be your favorite style. But let's be clear that God is worthy of worship regardless of if you like my style or not, you know?
Yes.
So.
And when it comes to you seeing other artists, because tonight, I know every time that door opens, y'all get a little teaser of what's going on there. I wish I could be there myself, but what's some of the things that you have noticed from other artists tonight worshiping?
I have noticed how they've been before and after they've come off stage. It makes what they do on stage that much more awesome because, I mean, Josh has selected a group of people who are so sweet, so nice, so loving, so, warm and welcoming. And I hear that the gospel industry is not friendly or warm, but that hasn't been my experience. Everybody that I've met so far has been so genuine.
Well, I have a simple question. Mm-hmm. Do you eat peanut butter and jelly?
I do.
Whip it up or laid it down?
I have to lay it down. I have 2 daughters, and we go in on peanut butter and jelly.
And you just spread it across.
I spread it across. I do. I'm a spreader.
I'm a whipper.
Yeah. No, I spread. You know.
It goes further when you whip it. Just saying. It goes further when you whip it.
The Holy Ghost is in the spread.
That was a good one. Yeah.
It is.
Man,
I'm done.
You know, speaking of food, man, I'm kind of hungry now, Dre.
I know.
But, you know, I'm gonna use that as a metaphor of staying hungry for God.
Yes, thirsty for Him. That's one thing I remember her saying, thirsty.
Yeah.
Thirsty for God.
When it comes to these young people, man, we live in a world, you have access to everything and anything. What words of wisdom we have for young people out there, man, who right now trying to find direction? Maybe they don't even know God. Maybe someone listening to this podcast, they don't even know God, but they just accidentally hit play on this I Am Refocused podcast episode. What words of wisdom you give out to that person right now?
You don't know who you are without the person who created you. The word is a guide, a key to who you are. I don't know how to work a vacuum unless I read the instructions that were placed. I don't know how to use a particular, piece of software without reading the instruction manuals to whatever it is that I am interested in using. And so you don't know who you are and what you're capable of if you don't have a relationship with the Lord. He's your maker. He's your manufacturer, and so it's important that you find a way to read and study. There's so much in there about you that you don't know. That's it. You were knit together in your mother's womb by a holy king. So, get in the presence.
No, that's real right there. Well, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule tonight to stop by I Am Refocused podcast. Big shout out to my boy Dre Coop of Y.O Productions, man.
Praise God, praising Him.
Each and every time we ask him to help us out, man, he's the first one to get interviewed. So he gonna be low, man. That's a low cat right there. Well, you guys, we are listening to I Am Refocused podcast. We are here. Big shout out to big bro Josh Hurt. Tonight is going down at RBC Resurrection Baptist Church. It is the worship gathering tonight. We got more artists coming your way. Miss Nye Washington, before we wrap it up, how can they stay connected with you on social media and website?
Instagram is Nye Wash Music. Facebook is Nye Washington. Those are the only two social media platforms that I am on because anything extra would be too much.
You got Zip Zap. You ain't been on Zip Zap yet?
I never heard of it.
I just made it up.
I was like, wait, I didn't see that one. Hey, you might be on something though. That sounds kind of fresh.
Right.
Zip Zap, boom, in and out.
Thank you, Nye.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast. We got more coming to you. We'll be right back. Hey, this is I Am Refocused podcast. We are here. Big shout out to Josh Hurt. He's breaking it down right here at RBC Resurrection Baptist Church, and we have a very, very special person on the mic right now.
Very special.
I mean, really special.
Yeah.
The one and only Pastor Rene Abraham. How you doing, sir?
Man, you better stop. Listen, I'm amazed at what you guys are doing. I am so proud of you.
Appreciate
and this fella next to you. What's his name again?
Y.O.
I don't do nothing but get in on the cast.
All right, man. God is amazing and how He allows the body of Christ to use gifts.
Yes.
To be a witness to the world and to let them know that they can be who God created them to be. That's what it's all about, man. That's what Christ has us alive for. We're talking about that all day today. But every day that I wake up, I realize more and more that my job is to help people to come alive in who God made them to be. There's a gift that God has given all of us.
Yes.
And when we operate in our lane, in the words of Oprah, if you stay in your lane, you'll be surprised with what can happen in your life.
That's what happened. I got too many lanes.
Well, now, if you got more than one lane, that's fine. Just make sure it's your lanes, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? San Antonio drivers need to know about that right there.
Hey, we're not going to... That'd be another 8 minutes, okay? Yeah, that'd be another whole 8 minutes.
But on a serious note, Pastor, me and you go way back.
Absolutely.
And I remember one time we sat in the office and we was talking about a podcast one day.
That's right.
And I said, one of these days, I'm going to talk to you on a podcast. And here we are, about 4 years later.
Listen, I don't know if you know about Shemaiah, man. This young man, this young boy, I'm going to call him boy. That's what they call David. This kid, man, came to me, man. Wide-eyed, as they say, bushy tail, but he had dreams, he had visions. And the Bible says in the latter days, your young men shall dream dreams and have visions. This young man, God has given him an amazing vision of media. And I'm proud of you, Shemaiah, man. You got your parents involved. They got y'all. It's a family thing.
Yes, sir.
You ought to bring in blessings. Believe it or not, I've been watching you from behind the scenes. Your stuff, your material gets to me.
I appreciate that.
And, I check you out on Facebook every now and then. I'm proud of Pops, Dad, Mom. I saw her up there. I saw a silhouette. It's too dark in there for me. I do church when it's a little brighter.
Yeah.
But I saw her, and I was so, man, it just took me back. And you're right, man. You said that. The Lord gave you that vision. And whenever God gives you a dream or a vision, you never let it go. Look at you now. Look at you now. Look at us.
Yeah. And tonight, I really want to, everyone who gets on the mic has the opportunity on the mic. I want to give people encouragement. That's a whole part of I Am Refocused podcast. It's a movement to wake people up. What are some words of wisdom that you can give to someone out there who might be stuck? They don't know how to talk to God. Maybe they have strayed away. What should they be doing right now to fix that?
First thing they do is ask, when they wake up in the morning, is ask God, why did you give me another day? Why did you give me breath one more time? Even if, no matter how bad things may be, if he woke you up, then that means he has something he wants you to do.
Wow.
And so when you ask that question, now the next thing to do is to hear him when he gives you the answer. Wow. He may give you the answer through a pastor. He may give you the answer through an experience. But the answer is there. All you got to do is go looking for the answer. God called me to preach at the age of 9. I'm 54. I'm enjoying ministry now more than I have ever after 40-some plus years of ministry. So you're talking about from the 70s to 2018. And let me tell you, when you are clear about what God has given you, you are fulfilling your purpose. I can't do your purpose.
Man.
I'll be too uncomfortable trying to do your purpose. You can't do my purpose.
Come on now.
You'll fail in my purpose, but you can do you. Maybe that's what they meant when they came with that phrase, do you.
Yes.
If you do you, you will discover what God has in store for you. That's the encouragement I have for anybody who's trying to figure out, okay, I fell off the horse. Get back on the horse.
Yeah.
I failed. But you'll never, listen, the back door to success is failure. You can't succeed until you fail.
Oh, wow.
How many times did you fail before you got where you are?
These mics cost some money.
There you go. Exactly. But you got to fail first.
I just want to touch on that real quick. I'm going to let you hop in there, Dre. One thing I noticed, when you're trying to operate your business, it's a lot of times you just want to say, you know what, let me just quit now and save all that pain.
Absolutely.
But one thing I noticed, Dre and Pastor Brown, pain is necessary.
Well, say it. I'm going to let you say it.
Pain
You've heard me
is
say
necessary.
it. Absolutely.
Because without pain, there's no story.
There's no basketball player that has not experienced pain before the game.
Wow.
There's no football player who has not been preseason, they hate it. There's no warrior who has not gone through basic training.
Exactly.
As they say, no pain,
No game.
no gain. And so the pain is all that stuff pushes you, the debts, the depression, the wanting to give up. Once you push through all of that, the first 15 minutes on the treadmill are the worst.
Really? I always make it to 13. I don't get to
Yeah, because that's the worst. So if you ever get past 16, then do 17.
Okay.
Then by the time you get to 25, you say, oh, hey, I got this.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious.
I mean, pain, it ends up providing clarity. Because a lot of times, we take pain as, why me? Playing the victim.
Absolutely.
And once you stop playing the victim and say, all right, God, I'm going to actually finally give up and let you take control of my life. Dre?
Man, look, just a real quick question. The worship gathering, This is his first time here, and you've had there's been many things come through your concerts and artists and comedians and all. How do you, and I know it's by prayer, but when you face that experience between business and church, how do you go before God with discernment or asking for discernment?
Well, here's what I believe about anything you do for the Lord. God never puts you in a position where you do something where there's not somebody to help you. There's always going to be somebody in your life who will help you, whether it's business or whatever. When people see me pastor this church, what they fail to realize is I don't do this on my own. They're coming out right now. I know there's a lot of noise. I pastor because I have a lot of great people surrounded by me. So, Dre, when it comes to business, the reason why a lot of people fail is because they fail to get good people who are more qualified with the business than they are.
Oh, wow.
I'm qualified to preach. I'm qualified to pastor. I ain't qualified to run the books. Wow. I ain't qualified to do the media.
We got to get that. We got to get that one there.
So find good people around you.
Okay.
And great people who are good.
Yes.
Not just family and friends. Good people who are competent.
Okay.
That's my business.
Man, to God be the glory. That's all I have.
Man, I just want to real quick, as you guys can tell, this worship gathering experience right now is super hype right now. Big shout out to Josh Hurt. Yeah, I want to thank Pastor Brown taking time out of his busy schedule. He did 5 sermons today.
Yes.
5, not 2, not 1, 5. That shows leadership right here that he would take time out of his busy schedule to sit down with I Am Refocused podcast. I want to thank you, sir, for everything you did for me. Back in the day, you said some words and they were seeds and now they're growing. And guess what? You're going to do big things, man.
Bless you, man.
I want them to come down to RBC, Resurrection Baptist Church, man.
Let's do lunch at your place. Whatever you're ready. I got you.
You know I'm with him, right? You know I'm with him.
I'm with him.
We'll let Dre come along and pick up the bill, okay? God bless y'all, man.
Bless you, man.
Proud of you, Shemaya. Dre, man, you're doing your thing, man. Y'all take care.
This is I Am Refocused podcast. We'll be right back.
Boom, y'all.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused podcast. We are here at Josh Hurt's event, the worship gathering. We have Rene Abraham. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Man, I'm doing excellent. This is my boy Dre Coop. What's up?
What up? What's up, man?
Man, we are interviewing Mr. Rene Abraham. Man, tell us this experience, because as you can tell, it's live. It's still live, man.
Yeah, so this is my first time. Josh has asked me to be here maybe 3 years. This being the third, and I wasn't able to do the other two, and I was able to do this one. And the truth is, I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
So when I walked in, it was like smack in the face. Just worship, just real, raw, authentic worship, and it gave me life in that moment. And so the moment I walked in, I just kind of made my way to the front because it was so authentic, so real. That's the best way I can describe it.
Wow, man, he said it was a slap.
But you know what? He handled that slap real well, man. When you were on stage, you continued and you carried the worship. I mean, I was in worship moment, in fact. And look, I was on front row. Couldn't see me, but I was there. Man. How long have you been worshiping professionally?
I started at the age of 19, not professionally, but I was actually the drummer at my church. Just a little kind of some context to how I got started and how God works.
Yeah.
So I was the drummer. Didn't want to be heard. I sang, but I didn't want to be the worship leader. And until God moved the person that was leading in a different season, different place, different church. And my dad looked at me and he said, "Rene, there is nobody else that can lead. So we have no other choice but to use you." And it was like, man, that sounds like I'm terrible or something, but God knew I would never have taken that step if He didn't start making those changes. And so I started leading worship at 19. When things really kind of started taking off a bit for me, it was probably at the age of 25, 26.
Wow. Now, when it comes to you doing what you do on stage, what is your mindset as far as prepping yourself for that moment when you're about to get on that microphone?
The truth is, as cliche as this may sound, I always ask the Holy Spirit what it is He wants to happen. I feel like there is always something specific the Holy Spirit wants to do, and it can happen in a song, it can happen through a declaration, it can happen through a chant, but God will use these things and will that specific one thing He wants to do will be accomplished. So I always ask the Holy Spirit, you know, as musicians, as singers, we always want to sound great. That's just, you want to, but there's times that you're not going to sound great, and you need to dig and find what God is going to use in that moment through you. And so it happened just now. The keyboard player didn't know the keyboard was transposed, different keys. It was really low for me, so it kind of threw everything off. But I felt like that God really wanted to do something different, and so I just changed the plan, and I audibled out of that and started to just declare things, and I felt like everything else took off after that.
And when it comes to your faith in God, say someone listening to this podcast right now and they're listening to you, Rene, they need some help, man. Like this real talk, let's all be transparent right now. We all got our struggles, we all got our problems. Say someone out there, man, maybe they strayed away from God. What words of wisdom do you give to that person and say, hey, it's okay, we all fail, but this is what you need to do to get back?
Yeah, I think when we are able to understand what unconditional love really means, it means that there is absolutely nothing we can do that God would say, I can't accept you anymore. I think we need to understand just the fact that God loves us. When we make mistakes, He loves us. When we have a great day, He loves us. When we have a bad day, He loves us. When we fall again, He loves us. One of my favorite verses is, for my grace is sufficient. My power is made perfect in your weakness.
Well.
And I feel like it is, in fact, I always feel like it is when we are at our low that God really reaches for us and lets us know just how much He loves us.
Say that, man.
Man, listen. This is one place that we don't really do crossover, and I'm going to be real transparent here on the radio because they can't see. You're Caucasian.
Yeah.
And you're in a place where it's mostly non-Caucasian black members that are worshiping. Do you ever feel any pressure when you're worshiping in front of an all-black audience?
No, and I'm Latino, by the way.
Redhead Latino.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Spanish great-grandparents, but no, I don't. I've had the blessing of learning from so many really good and elite worship leaders, such as, in my opinion, someone like a Josh Hurt, someone like a Cristabel Clack, who are pioneers of worship movement in this city. And I luckily I've relationship with these people, but I don't, because I know that we operate in a different realm, and that's the spiritual realm. And in the spiritual realm, there is only the kingdom culture.
Come on,
and
man.
if we all understand that, we eliminate anything else that makes us different from each other, and we only see what makes us all the same, and that's the fact that we are all kingdom. We're all in the kingdom. We're all sons and daughters of the Most High.
Amen. That's my question.
Man, you said something about that, man. Once we get on the level where we operate, knowing that it does not matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As long as you know that I'm a brother, you're a brother, and we believe in Christ, why would anything else matter?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As much hate that goes on in just the world, period, it should not seep through in the community of Christians.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
We ought to be the light on the hill, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? We can be transparent, but we need to have more love for each other, man.
Man, if our love for Christ was transparent, if the love and the desire that we have is so transparent, that's all we really need, because people will see it. I mean, I've had many times when I was feeling in my foolish days that people would look at me and say, God is all over you. And I'm like, what?
He's like, wait, me?
Yeah, what are you talking talking to. But it's something when Christ dwells within you, even when you don't know He's there. He is there. He's working out.
Yeah, and to go back to what we were talking about, I do want to say this, and I spoke to Josh about this. Josh heard on the phone. I said, without us knowing, sometimes events like this, the worship gathering, will break some barriers that exist in the city.
Yes.
Such as racism, such as the fact that people do see, okay, well, he's black and he's white and he's Hispanic and he's that exists. But when we do things like this, we're starting to break down some walls. And so that is why when I came here, I had to speak that into the atmosphere. I said, every knee will bow, every tongue confess. Every tongue confess. I don't know what language you speak. I don't know where you come from, but the Bible says that we are all in on this. And this tonight is about all of us. It's about all of us. And while this worship is going on, people need to understand that there are walls coming down in this city.
You said something right there, man, that I'm not even going to touch much because what needed to be said was just said right now. I mean, Rene Abraham, man, thank you so much for taking your time to talk to us. How can people stay connected to you on your website and social media?
Yeah, so on, I really use my Instagram the most. On Instagram, I'm at Rene Abraham, just like that. That's my Instagram. From there, they can find me on every other social media platform.
Man, I can't let you leave. Do you have any upcoming projects or any recent projects you just released?
Yeah, so I'm currently recording a worship album that'll be in English and Spanish, and just keep me in prayer doing that, believing God for big things. It's a big faith leap, but I'm trusting what God has placed in me. I'm betting on myself. I'm betting on what God placed in me, and I want to take a moment and just encourage everybody who's listening to this: bet on what God has placed in you. Dream big, bet big, believe in yourself, and do it. Get it done.
Amen. Man, big shout out to Josh Hurt.
That's what I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that, man.
In fact, let me say this too. During that moment we were up there, God gave me a word for him, and he said, what you're starting right here isn't just for the city, it's for cities. And God was showing me things, man. Just a mantle coming over him, over Josh, and big shout out to Josh, man. Thank you for dreaming big, Josh. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for not stopping. Man, just love you, bro.
Man, yo, this is fire, Dre. It's like every time we do this type of thing, it always pans out. And I'm going to just be transparent, like you said earlier. God's in control, man.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? All this flows because he's in charge. I'm not in charge. Yeah. So you want some more fire, man? You want some more inspiration? Stay tuned to this podcast because we coming back with more interviews. This is I'm Refocused podcast. Big shout out to Mr. Josh Hurt. Man, you do your thing, bro. You doing your thing. We'll be right back. Hey, we are back again. We are at the worship gathering here at Resurrection Baptist Church. Big shout out to Pastor Ray Brown. If you did catch that interview, man, rewind and take a little bit or just scroll back on that iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big shout out to Josh Hurt, man. We have my boy Dre Coop
in the house.
And we are interviewing a music artist, Mr. Michael Dixon. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How y'all doing tonight?
Man, doing excellent, man. Good. Man, I'm going to just say this real quick before we get a little backstory. This atmosphere is awesome, man.
It is crazy.
I mean, the love of just Christians coming together with no agendas, just having fun and putting God first, man.
Man, this is greater than we expected. But I want to ask you, Mike, with going up there on stage, I mean, anointing was already hot. Did you find yourself even a little nervous about having to keep that fire going?
The crazy thing about this atmosphere, God is so heavy and so present that you really have no space. You have no space to be nervous. You have no space to be prideful because you don't really exist in this moment.
Right.
So my mental state was pretty much non-existent.
It's like
it was all God.
It's you now. Man, I like how you said that because it's like, it makes perfect sense, man. We have to empty ourselves of all the nervousness and all the just baggage. I mean, if you had a rough day, it's like, no, when you're doing something for God, you just got to let go and let Him take control. Tell us a little backdrop story of you real quick, man. How did you get into the industry, being a music artist and being the gospel field?
Well, I started doing session background vocals, so I did a lot of recording for a lot of artists. Then I got into writing, and then I branched off and started recording my own music, and that just kind of pushed me on the forefront. I'm also a worship leader in Houston.
So you already have projects out?
I have singles out, not a full project, not until November.
Okay. What's some of those singles, man?
I have two. One is Great Grace. That was my first single. And my current single, Walk on Water, is currently doing very well at radio, so I'm excited. We hit the Billboard chart, so I'm happy.
Oh, he said Billboard charts.
Yeah, I must not be on the Billboard. I don't know, because I ain't got nothing.
He didn't say YouTube or SoundCloud. He said Billboard.
Yeah, I was like number 2 on SoundCloud. Go check me out. Man, I was up there.
I mean,
for 2 days.
I mean, on a serious note, Mike, when it comes to you just living for God, we've been touched on this whole thing about faith. Oh, we're good. I see that one. When it comes to you building your faith on this journey with God, how do you keep yourself balanced day to day?
That is a great question because the cross that I bear is belief. I'm a visual person, so when things don't match up with what I believe, what I'm seeing, when it doesn't match up with what I believe, it kind of throws me off. So faith it's a really difficult thing for me because being a visual person, I got to see it to understand it. I got to see it to believe it, and that doesn't match up with faith because faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So it's really a task for me. It's a daily thing for me. I have to choose to believe. I have to choose to have faith. I have to choose to balance my life around what I believe.
Speaking of faith, have you just ever kind of gone with it? You don't know what God has for it. You don't know what He's going to bring out of it. You just know that through someone, you may not have heard them directly, but through someone, they were like, say, Mike, we need you over here on this project. And you're like, that don't even match me. But you went in for it anyway?
The funny thing is, the single that I have out right now is called Walk on Water. And it's completely about stepping out on faith and completely trusting God. And I had to act on that song recently with the exact situation that you're speaking of, because I became a worship leader at a church in Houston that was kind of not my vibe of what I do. So that was truly a step of faith, and God has really grown me at that church. So I know I'm supposed to be there. It was hard to get there, though.
Oh, man. Listen, when doing projects, do you ever act with discernment? Do you pray about them and say, Lord, should I go to this one, or do you just go with somebody inviting you?
No, you have to have a spirit of discernment. And the thing is, everyone has discernment. They just don't recognize it. It's that feeling that you get. Whatever, if it's I don't feel real good about this situation, or I feel good about that, that's discernment. So you have to have that, because you can end up taking yourself into a place where God does not want you at all. And you can mess up your journey, you can mess up your life, you can mess up your witness, you can mess up your spirit. Like that, it's very important to operate in discernment.
Have you taken one that was not for you? Have you gone in on one that you weren't supposed to be there?
Fortunately, I have not, because I always consult God on that, because it's kind of life or death for me.
Oh, man.
Wow. Man, you made that crystal clear. Man. But seriously, say someone right now, man, they're listening to you and they're like, just in case someone out there think they don't need God, all right? What's some words of wisdom that you can give to someone out there who's like, man, I get you, man, but I think I can do it myself? Give them a little bit more wake-up call right now.
take it from someone who was doing it by myself. I found God at 19, so I didn't grow up in church. This was not a thing that was instilled in me as I was younger. And I remember what I was before God, and I look at what I am now with God. It's a complete difference. It won't be easy. It will not be easy. It will be very difficult. But the great thing about it is you have the problem solver on your side. So whatever you face, whatever you're dealing with, he's big enough to fix it, and it's not greater than him. So that just gives me so much confidence that whatever I'm going through, I'm going to be okay.
And that key thing you just said, it is not greater than him.
Not at all.
So whatever it is you're going through, it's not greater than God.
Yeah.
It no matter what you say, it's hard. It ain't greater than God. Dre, I'm gonna let you close this out for us, man.
Listen, man, do you eat peanut butter and jelly?
Absolutely. Had one before I came.
do you spread it or do you mix it?
I spread it. I tried the mixed one that they have.
No, not that they have. I mean, like on your own.
Well, you put peanut butter on one side, put jelly on the other, and you put it together.
You know what? I'm gonna have to give a class on how to mix peanut butter and jelly because it goes a long way. You actually mix a little bit of jelly in with whatever amount of peanut butter it is, and it still brings that sweetness to your peanut. I'm gonna have to teach y'all, man.
You gotta do a YouTube video on that.
No, I feel so bad for anybody listening right now. So long. If we keep talking about peanut butter and jelly, if you hungry, you might want to pause this, go in the kitchen, get a snack, or if you driving, pull over and take an exit and get some Burger King or something. Because
man, listen, Mike, man, we want to thank you so much for being here on I Am Refocused magazine. Man, your testimony is phenomenal. Is there any last words you want to give to someone before we
Man, trust God. That's the only word I can give you. Trust God.
And before we really let you go, what is the best way people can stay in contact with you with social media and if you have a website?
On all social media platforms, it's Mike Wrights. That's MikeWritez on everything.
Well, there you have it, y'all. Man, we still got more fire for y'all, man. It ain't going out right now. And you know what? When it's over, it still ain't going to go out because it's all about God, man. He's the main fire, the main source. You're listening to I Am Refocused podcast. Big shout out to Josh Hurt, man. I'm going to give you a plug every time we do an interview, man, because you're doing your big thing, bro. Thank you so much for having my boy Dre Coop. Gotcha. Coming out here, helping us do this interviews. Don't touch that iPhone. We'll be right back.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, we are right back, man. This is the I Am Refocused podcast show, and we are here at the worship gathering hosted by Josh Hurt. Big shout out to you, big bro. I got my boy Dre Coop.
What up, people? Party people.
And yo, we have a very special music artist, Stanley Johnson. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. What's up, man? I'm happy to be here, man.
Man, I can hear him.
Yeah. We can hear him real good. I mean, when you on stage, I was back here holding it down, but I could see that little slivers, little opening right there. I could see you doing your thing.
Oh, man.
Man, you were into this worship gathering. Man, tell us, what was the experience like for you?
Man, it's amazing. This is my second worship gathering. The first one I did was in Vegas, and it's just powerful. It's amazing. Just how they bring everybody together. It's not that competitive spirit, but just a spirit of just cohesion, man, where we're all coming around the country, worship leaders, some people I know, bumping into, people I haven't seen in a long time. It's just a blessing, man, to just be here. And when there's that level of, freedom and love, that liberty in the spirit of the Lord, man, it's just powerful. Anything can happen, man. And I think what's happening here is far beyond what anybody can really even imagine or fathom. And we'll leave here with something.
Man, I'm almost about to jump into my peanut butter. He just looked like he had a sandwich.
Oh, man.
Stanley.
See, no, look. And then break it down for you, man. Every single person we had on this show tonight, I feel bad for the listener because they've been hungry all this time. But Dre has been asking about, we're going to do a little swerve, peanut butter and jelly. Do you mix it or do you separate it?
You got to separate it like you do the peanut butter first.
Man.
Come on, that's blasphemous, man. You do the peanut butter first, right? And then it's jelly on the other, and then you bring it together.
Break it down, Dre. Break it down, man.
Man, listen. You have to mix the peanut butter It's economical. With jelly.
But that dries it up or something. It does something chemical.
No, man.
You got to eat it in like 5 seconds.
You're being blasphemous right now. Listen.
You can't serve two masters. Listen.
Well, listen, that's why you have yours separate. I'm all together. We're all one, God. I whip them together. Listen, man, up there worshiping, though, man, back on the serious note with Josh Hurt.
Yes, sir.
One thing, this is one thing that I can say about this, I'll call it a concert for no better terms. But one thing that he's done is that he has continual worship like a medley. Nobody just takes the time to come off and take a breath and go. He just continually goes in. Was that difficult for you to just meld in on that melt in that medley?
Absolutely not. I didn't even ask when I was going up. When it was, he just pointed, called me up, and I just kind of went with it, flow with it, spontaneous, just whatever kind of God has given, and we just kind of roll with it. I think it's beautiful, especially as worship leaders, to be able to have that freedom and that spontaneity that you don't get to have a lot of times, in worship services.
Right. So did you feel, because me being a performer, I guess you would say, did you feel the worship when you were up there? Because some people don't feel it. They just go with the flow.
They just leading it. Yeah. You know what? That's a good thing, man. One of the things that is always a difficulty for worship leaders or people who are leading what's happening in worship experiences, they become facilitators and not participators of worship.
Right.
And so to be able to facilitate and participate simultaneously, that means that's something powerful. There's very few spaces and places where you can do that at.
Right. And you did that quite well. In fact, I thought you were just like one of the backups coming up front, but you're actually, one of the worship leaders. Do you have any solo projects coming out?
Yeah, I do. I do have something that I'm working on, a visual EP called The Blessing of Brokenness that I'll be working on.
You said visual EP?
Yep, a visual EP. So I'm going to roll it out visually. So it'll be about 6 songs, but it'll be kind of unfolded visually and artistically kind of seen and as well as heard.
So you're doing videos with it?
Yep.
But it sounds more like Michael Jackson, how he did his visual, right?
Yeah. Kind of like a little short film type of deal. Yeah.
See, that's it. You know what? I think I'm gonna do one with you, Shamar. I think I'm gonna do one.
There you go.
Can you do it, man?
Oh yeah. Hey, real quick, man. Real quick. Since we all in the moment right now, Dre Coop, why don't you break down Y.O Productions real quick? What you do, man?
Y.O Productions is a multitude of things. But one of the primary focuses, not one of, but the primary focus is entertainment. In gospel, they love playing with them doors.
We just want to make sure they work, man.
Yeah, but the Y.O Production, man, we do videography, we do photography, we do music, not music, I do the lyrics. But, we bring in, we connect people. I act, I don't sing, but I rap. But we're just a conglomerate of things. I mean, Y.O Production is just happy to be a part. That's why I'm here on I Am Refocused, because I'm happy to be a part.
It's a team. I mean, tonight, just like some of the artists have said, I'm going to let you dabble into this, man. We're not going to take up too much of your minutes, man.
You're good.
But every artist has been talking about unity tonight and the power of being united with your fellow Christian brothers and sisters. Because today we live in a world where there's a lot of distractions and there's a lot of friendly fire, if I can put it that way.
Right.
Tell us a little bit of experience with you being in ministry. How do you keep yourself from falling away into those traps of distractions, man?
That's a really good question, man. I think what kind of happens, a lot of people experience, especially when you're behind the curtain. And what I mean by that, people who are employed by churches, which are a lot of people up here today, and working and serving in ministries. It just becomes very difficult because you deal with a level of church hurt that's a little different from some others, and that pain sometimes can stifle people and make you feel a little disconnected. And what happens is you just become another hireling in the church. And so to be able to be here and have this unity, it's on neutral ground. Nobody's things. It's no competition. It's not at risk, man. It's beautiful. It's powerful, and I think that we can learn something from how this flow is even taking place, because you can't rehearse this, and we don't get together often. You can't rehearse this, and so for this to happen so organically, maybe something is missing in what we're manufacturing.
Man, transparent moment. Listen, here's one of the sad things. A lot of people can't break into the secular world with their music, so what they do is they go gospel first. They'll go gospel and then let someone hear them, and all they were waiting on was just someone in the secular world to say, hey man, you got the gift. I'm connected with Rap Lotto. I'm connected with Arista Records. Let us talk to you.
Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself in that situation? If yes, how did you handle it? If no, how would you handle it?
Yes, I won't speak on it too heavy, but absolutely, yeah, I have, man. I think you have to, really consider, like, what are you doing, what you're doing for? And I think if you define success really early on, it may be a little easier for you to not kind of fall into some traps, because if numbers and notoriety and likes and sales, if that's what success is to you, then that's what it's going to be. That'll be a reward. But if it's a bit more, then I think that even on any level, this reach and what's happening, man, is so much more. So I don't fall into the trap. I would tell a lot of people, try to get nowadays, especially with all these different social media platforms and areas and different things, you can build some leverage before you even go to the table to any labels. You can build leverage and do your own thing. And after you realize, a lot of people, because I was connected with a label at one time. I was signed to a label, and things were doing well, and moved around a little bit, and got some little accolades, whatever the case is, and did some things on TV, but it was broke. I mean, I didn't get anything, and so to be able to still, God to transition me to be able to be a worship director, worship pastor, worship leader full time, a college professor as well, and some other things. I mean, it's just a blessing to stretch out what that level of success was, and it's not just confined to the music industry, because it's still an industry, whether it's gospel or not.
I love what you just said a little bit ago. A lot of times we stop to the likes in the following numbers. Mm-hmm. And really, if you took away social media in today's world, a lot of people would probably go crazy.
Yep.
Because instead of going to God, come on, we can go to our profile.
Yep.
But that's not even our real profile. That's just our stage profile.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna stop, because this is about you, Stanley Johnson.
No, man.
Stanley, tell them how they can reach you, man. Speaking of media profile.
Yeah, absolutely right. As we go back to social media, man. But listen.
You got my metaphor.
No, I got you. You can email me at StanleyJohnsonMusic@gmail.com, or you can follow me on social media, Stanley J Music.
Is that Facebook or is that Instagram?
Facebook is just Stanley Johnson. Yeah. It's up there. But Instagram is Stanley J Music, and Twitter, of course, Stanley J Music. Yeah, reach out to me.
Let me spray some Mr. Clean on that comment I said a little bit ago. What I meant by that is, don't let social media be your only way. Right.
It shouldn't drive you. It shouldn't define what it is, man.
Exactly.
There's a big thing kind of going on with Kanye West is talking about the whole thing, like getting away with likes. I wonder how affirmed people would feel on social media if they just posted and have any likes and comments.
That's what I'm saying.
Because people feel affirmed through that, and that should not affirm you.
Man, let God do that for
Absolutely.
you. Listen, we want to thank you. I just want to let you know there's something else Y.O do. I put together shows as well, which include music and comedy. My show is one of these. Just Leave Them Laughing is next week on the 28th. For those that are listening and going to catch this, 28th, Continental Cafe, 6390 Fairdale Drive, right there off of Ritterman. I'm just putting that out there. I know you're not in town.
Man, listen, I can come on back, man. I don't know if I'm coming back for this. I'm trying to move. I'm in the process of moving from Phoenix to Richmond, Virginia. So, yeah, that's a big move again, man.
We right in between, so stop on by.
The way these flights treating me, I'm liable to be stuck somewhere like I was earlier today.
Listen, Stanley, man, we really appreciate you coming on I Am Refocused magazine.
Yes, sir,
host.
man. Yo, this is I Am Refocused podcast, and we are here on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. I hate to do name drops because that's kind of hypocritical what I just said early in the show, but y'all know where I'm trying to come from. Big shout out to Josh Hurt, big bro doing his thing. This is the worship gathering. This event is lit, as you can tell. The doors are working. and the music is blaring, and we love it. This is Making It Live, and we are here with Mr. Stanley Johnson. We will be right back. This is I Am Refocused podcast, and we are still here at Josh Hurt's event, the Worship Gathering Experience. As you can tell right now, the door is still opening. That means the music is still going. We are talking to, before I do that real quick, big love to my boy Dre Coop. What's up, man?
What up, my peoples, my peoples, my peoples, my peoples.
Okay, man, if you need a friend, you need Dre Coop on your side, because he's the most loyal guy in the media, because he's the owner. No, I'm serious. This is real. Like, no bull. Owner of Y.O Productions, SPS. Man, we are family up in here. And this whole event, it's all about family, man. Yeah. The unity here is major. And you know, I hear somebody on the left mic, and I need to introduce you, man, because you're like, man, hurry up, man. I came all the way from North Carolina, man. You're going to have to introduce me, so I'm going to do that right now. We have Tamela Hairston. How you doing, man?
Doing awesome.
Spell your last name for me.
It's like hair, H-A-I-R, and then S-T-O-N.
That was easy.
Hairston. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Like I'm like deaf in this ear and can't hear out this one.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Oh, man. I think what happened, you too close to those monitors up there.
Hey.
Man, listen.
Too close to the fire.
Tamela.
Yes.
Tamela, you jumped in the fire. You got on stage and you jumped in the fire with a can of gasoline in the left hand and some of that E80 in your left hand. You're just burning up the stage. How does it feel to be part of this experience?
This experience is so amazing, and like you were saying, the unity and just feeling the power of God, and it's every person that has stepped foot on the stage tonight, yesterday, through the whole event has just been anointed. So it's always an awesome experience to be around other people who share the same, fire for God.
You didn't notice, but I was actually sitting next to you.
Ah, okay.
And well, actually, I was like down 3 people.
Gotcha. Yes.
3 people. But listen, I saw you as the worship was going on.
Yes.
I saw you just couldn't stop. You were itching. It's my turn. It's my turn.
I know how to wait my turn, but I love God so much, and I have such a hunger for Him and His presence and His power. So, just being in the room with, again, such powerful people, if I didn't get a chance to step on the stage, I would have been all right.
Yeah. But it was better though. You actually got up there with fire.
Oh, bless the Lord.
Man, I came in and I'm just like, wait,
Bless
I can hear it before I see it.
Bless the Lord. It got you.
Radio Land sounds like Dre Coop just caught on fire, man.
Man, listen.
Shut up in my bones.
God got up there. He used you so phenomenally. Now,
Glory to God.
Was it major, and what I mean, like a major effort to get from North Carolina to Texas for this event?
No, Brother Josh Hurt, kudos to you.
Shout out to Josh.
Yes.
She beat you, man.
I did it in the beginning.
Yes, he did. He brought us out here, myself and our worship director, Joshua, who sang before me. And so it wasn't a struggle. Had to make sure the kids were okay and husband was okay at home, and we're here. So.
Oh man. So is the weather different?
It started getting cool.
Just a little bit,
back
right?
home. It started getting cool. So fall is here. We can tell.
Man, we have you all in prayers over there though, because we know the storms have been hitting over there.
Yeah.
Had you been affected by the storm?
It literally went around us. Somebody put up a post on Facebook and they said it was like an arrow pointing down. It said the power of God lives here, and it was in Raleigh because the storm literally came, through South Carolina, came up North Carolina, but it went all the way around Raleigh. So it was like a bad rainstorm.
Man, this sounds like San Antonio East Side. It will be storming here in San Antonio. Over here, over Resurrection. Boom, boom. And I'm on the east side waiting for it.
Dre looking outside.
Somebody told a story. I don't know if you really, had it right.
Dre be outside taking a tan, like, what y'all talking about? On a serious note, when it comes to your faith, you mentioned your kids and your husband.
Yes.
What is the balance day-to-day basis when you're in this ministry, when you're on the battlefield? What is, not the secret sauce, but what is your mindset and what is your thing that keeps you motivated?
I literally believe that it is the grace of God that keeps me with my children, my husband, the day-to-day things that I have to do, and still get up and minister and lead the people in worship. And I think the motivation for me is just knowing that I am a vessel being used by God and that there are people that need to experience His presence. So it's not about me singing, it's more about me invoking His presence into the room and making sure that I am wide open to whatever God wants to do, because you never know who's in the room and what they need. But when you make sure that you invite God's presence in, He takes care of everything. So that's my motivation, is just knowing that people need Him and that I can be a vehicle, to help and bring His presence in and just let Him have His way.
Man, you said something about being a vehicle, man.
Yes.
And I'm known to have the most crazy left field metaphors, but just rock with me real quick.
I got you.
You know how Uber trying to catch a ride to your destination? Talk to the audience about the ride that's probably the most important ride to get to heaven.
Man.
Say someone right now is on the fence, they don't know much about God, or maybe they know a little bit, but they're straight away.
Yeah.
What words of wisdom will you give to that person to just renew their faith, renew their lackness of not trusting God?
Listen, I don't know any other way, and when you literally, I live on this thing, like when you have tried everything and everything else has failed, like try God, and even at that, don't try everything else first, try Him. You never know, and I promise you that God has such a great plan for us. I am 33, and I am just now really stepping into these promises that God made me years ago when I was a kid. And I promise you, for people that are like, man, God forgot about me. No, He didn't. His will is perfect. His plan is perfect. But you have to be patient. You have to wait on Him. Like, wait on the Lord and be of good courage. He'll strengthen your heart. So if you wait on Him, He'll renew your strength. He'll give you everything that you need to get through the journey until He gets you to the promise that He made for you. But He can't take you to the promise if you're not ready for it. I think a lot of people want to get to everything that they want to see so fast, and it's like, but I can't take you there if I can't trust you there. So I think you have to be in a place in your heart and in your mind where God can trust you, and if He can trust you, He'll give you everything that you could have ever desired. As a matter of fact, His word says that I'll do exceeding abundantly above what you ask or think. But it's according to the power that's in you. You got to have His power, His anointing, His strength, His everything working in you in order to experience the fullness of God. So I say to anybody that's like, man, I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm 33 years old and I am just now seeing some manifestation of stuff that God promised me when I was a little girl.
Man, was that a hard wait though?
Absolutely. Absolutely, but I trust Him enough. It came. I trust Him, and it's been worth it. And to now be in this moment, it's like, God, I'm so glad I didn't give up. I'm so glad I didn't quit. So,
I mean, that metaphor I said about the Uber thing, it worked out, man, because, back in the day, we weren't always catching flights.
Right.
Driving that car.
Yeah.
Or your parents driving the car, you in the back seat. The favorite part of that road trip is when you taking those stops. Because when it's time to fill up on gas, it's time to feed that food too. And you know what? Like you said earlier, this is perfect because that's what God's word is for us.
Yes.
He's got gas stations on this road in life. life.
Listen.
And when we need to fill up,
Good God.
stop, take that exit, get back to God, get reconnected, and He's going to give you that. Yeah.
Man, listen, I want to let y'all know, though, if you take like a lot of exits like I did,
Listen.
just make sure you get back on.
Come on.
Dre did that GPS, man.
But you know, it is absolutely wonderful. I mean, you look every bit of 23.
Oh, praise
God
the Lord.
is really with you.
Hallelujah.
Man, and next time when you come to Texas, maybe you can bring your family with you.
I pray I can.
And we can take y'all to authentic enchiladas.
Hallelujah. Because, listen, I went to a restaurant yesterday. They didn't have any. I didn't know what was going on. I was really upset. And I wanted to praise God anyhow. But yes.
Hey, that's the name of the restaurant. Praise God anyhow.
Look, did you ask her the peanut butter question?
I was about to right now.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Hey, so, all right. When it comes to peanut butter and jelly, the biggest question in the whole wide world right now is, do you mix it or is it separated?
Okay, so I don't like peanut butter, so I can't answer that question.
Ouch.
I can't answer that. When I was a kid, I only ate jelly, and it was like grape or strawberry.
Yeah, at least it's separate.
Yeah. Man. So you ever had just jelly sandwiches dripping down your arm?
No. I'm a clean eater. You know, I try to stay clean and not make a mess.
Right. This is a holy show.
I'm just saying, because when I was little and we had peanut butter and syrup, we just had syrup sandwiches.
Syrup, wow.
You ain't had a syrup sandwich?
No, sir.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know anything about that.
When you hold up the sandwich, on the bottom part, it just comes. Man, that's good. That's good. So, but listen, tell everyone how they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. So on Facebook, the page is full, so don't be mad at me, but follow me, please. I'll answer your questions. I find it interesting that on social media, before I give out my tags, like when people send me messages and I respond, they respond back and they're like, wow, you responded to me. And I'm like, of course, why wouldn't I? So if you reach out, I will respond, I promise. But on Instagram, it's Tamela, that's T as in Tango, AMELA .Hairston, HAIRSTON, that's Tamela.Hairston. Facebook, it's Tamela Brinson, that's BRINSON, Hairston. And I also have a Tamela Hairston music page on Facebook as well. So,
man,
look forward to meeting everybody.
Do Facebook. No.
He do MySpace, man.
Oh my God,
He got time on.
MySpace is black.
No, it's beige planet.
Oh my God, beige.
They done messed up.
But yeah, MySpace is, that's long gone.
You still got it though.
I probably do still have a login, but I have no clue what it is, and I don't know. I don't remember anything on there at all.
You know what, man? This remind everybody where we at, man. Big shout out to Josh Hurt, man.
Yes.
We are at the worship gathering, man. It's been a blast tonight. We still got a few more interviews, and we trying to get the big bro, Josh Hurt, if he ain't hurting in the vocals.
That's right.
I'm sure he'll come and talk to you.
But man, thanks so much, man. We appreciate you. We on here. This is I Am Refocused podcast. My big bro.
Wait, don't go. Do me a favor.
Yes.
And tell everybody you're on podcast radio. But sing it.
This is Tamela, and I'm on podcast radio.
Man, that's what's up, but we need another one teaser. Can you say I Am Refocused podcast?
Yeah, I am refocused.
I am Refocused podcast.
Man, you already know. You need to rewind, or you need to drag that little play button and drag it to the beginning of this interview and catch her social media, because you want to follow this lady. And real quick, before we really let you go, you have any projects you coming up with or release?
Yes, so we have, my husband and I wrote this song called He Is, and it was released through our church, our worship ministry called WO Worship. That's WO Worship. It's for World Overcomers Worship. Shout out to World Overcomers, Pastor Andy Thompson. World Overcomers Worship. So we wrote a song on there. It's called He Is. And so that's been out for a little over a year now. And I have a new song coming out in the fall. It's called Bless Your Name Forever. And I am excited about that
So be on the lookout.
Yeah, be on the lookout for Dre Coop. I'm coming to the East Coast, Delaware somewhere.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
And if you want me over in North Carolina, because I'm an awesome MC as well, Y.O Productions, we do a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
And I'm an awesome MC as well.
I believe it.
I mean, and if I don't tell you, don't nobody know.
Come on, huh? You better promote yourself here.
This is my cue to finish that commercial and say, hey, if you're not doing nothing September 28, 2018 at 8 o'clock p.m., make sure you go to Y.O Productions Presents. You know what I'm saying? The comedy jam titled Leave Them Laughing. Bobby Smith, man, he is hilarious. And I have to clean that up with Mr. Clean Spray and say, we haven't forgotten about you, Josh. But I gotta give my boy that nice plug because he's been supporting me since day one. But we are still at the worship gathering event here at RBC Resurrection Baptist Church. I want you all to go support these artists. Go support Josh Hurt. This is our Refocused podcast, and we will be right back. This is our Refocused podcast. Welcome back. We are still here at the worship gathering. Big shout out to the big bro, Josh Hurt. He did his thing. As you guys know, the music was live. You heard a little taste of it in the background. We love this live experience. Big shout out to my bro, Dre Coop. He hanging there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we have a great music artist, Miss Cristabel Clack is in the building.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
I wanted to say, Dre Coop got to hear you on stage. I was kind of back here in the behind the scenes. What was the experience like for you tonight?
Man, I didn't really know what to expect. A lot of times when you have a night of worship, it turns into a concert because everyone is doing their own music and, it's not very cohesive. And I've been a part of a ton of nights of worship where it's that way. You can never really find the river because everyone is doing what they want. And tonight was such a refreshing experience because every artist, every worship leader just followed the river and flowed so beautifully where if they had an upbeat song or something that didn't make sense, they would not do it. Because to me, that's the most important thing is getting to the river, allowing God to move and flow and not try to stick to a set list. So I have to say tonight was so beautiful and so refreshing for me. God's presence just came in the room and just stayed, A lot of times we'll veer away and we'll go another direction and it's like God is like, I was here, I was ready, and you guys left me behind. But tonight it was not that. God's presence was able to move.
Time out. We just talked about this on other interviews. And you weren't here and listened to us doing the interviews.
Yeah, she said somebody to listen to us.
What you just said though, about God. Man, when you're trying to go one way, when he has you for a reason, for a purpose.
But the way God moved tonight is all you had to do is join in. All you had to do is join in on the worship. You caught fire. You had, man, I'm telling you, God used me so much up there. Now, when preparing, and you already know that it's not the Spirit of Christ, it's a concert tonight. First of all, how does it affect you? And second of all, how do you attack that?
My heart and my mandate is every time I take any platform is presence is priority. So if I can't get the presence of God in the room and the atmosphere ain't conducive for it, I won't do it.
All right now.
So a lot of times I will screen, the event. I'll follow the people that are hosting it. I'll peer into their lives because that'll show me a little bit about whether or not I need to connect. But I know Josh Hurt has such a heart for God and a passion for worship that I knew that the people that he chose to be a part have to be at least somewhat sensitive to the Holy Spirit in order, to be connected to him, because I know that's what he wants, is for God's presence to show up. So for me, when I'm preparing to do a night of worship or a concert or anything like that, whether or not everyone else is in that vein or trying to God's presence to move, that's my priority. So whether or not I have 10 minutes, 20 minutes, in that 20 minutes, I am going to command the atmosphere for God's presence to come into the room.
Amen. Did you do that tonight?
Absolutely. I believe that was done.
We are talking to Cristabel Clack. I don't think people understand who we're talking to.
You know what? She's talking to us.
I'm just saying, though. Seriously, because her music's off the chain.
But listen, I have a friend. We have a friend that attends your church, and the praise is so high for the way that the message is delivered. And of course, Miss Clack is going to sing. But you know the name Jackie Carter?
I do. I love her.
I was backup singer for her, one time for about 6, 7 months, 8 months, a year. I don't know.
Wow.
But she really talks highly of you all. The Spirit is always in the building. You carry Christ with you wherever you go.
Absolutely.
And people are getting on me. Now, they were like, you went up there and got her, and she ain't even dried off from sweat yet. I'm like, we on radio. Nobody said it. Was I supposed to wait? I don't know. But thank you for being gracious enough to come.
It's my pleasure.
Do you eat peanut butter and jelly?
Do I eat it?
This is one of those curveball interview questions, but you're not the only one. This is the same question we ask every single artist tonight. We're having this battle between peanut butter and jelly. Do you mix it or you keep it separate?
You know, I do love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and it depends on whether or not I'm in the mood for grape jelly or strawberry jelly, but I love both. And I do separate them. I do one slice of bread, peanut butter, one slice of bread, jelly. Wait, you mix it?
Yes. You know what, Shemaya, I'm going to take you up on that. I'm going to go ahead and do my video on how to mix the peanut butter and jelly. Y'all are in for a world. It's going to rock your world. It's going to rock your world.
I think it was breaking news tonight because I need to say if I did it, I never mixed it, bro. But I'm not knocking it because I'm going to try it.
I'm going to show everyone how to mix it. Listen, do you have any children?
I do. I have 3.
And do they ever attend any of your concerts or presentations?
They do. And then they're in worship every Sunday. And what I did tonight is pretty much what happens every week.
This was just like a warm-up.
Listen, do you have any projects out? Anything?
I actually just completed my project. I had to overdub the background vocals. But it's done, and it just needs to be mixed and mastered. And I'm super excited about it because it's been a long time coming. I recorded it at the beginning of 2017, and it has yet to be released. But I believe that the sound that is on it is timeless. And so at first I was a bit discouraged. I felt like it's been a year and it hasn't come out yet, and I was getting really discouraged, wondering if I should just scrap the whole thing. And God said, no, it's timeless.
Amen. Take that card right there. I'm only saying this because this man is a great videographer. He produced, he shot, he even did my first song, but he did the video behind it.
Go get it.
Yeah, he is an awesome videographer. If you're looking to do an interview and looking to give someone a chance, look up Shemaya Reed. Does absolutely wonderful videos.
Awesome.
So don't hesitate to do it.
Real quick,
She said thank you and put the card back.
No, I have one here.
No, she got one. That's right. You said something earlier that I want to dig deeper in.
Okay.
You said something about scrapping. There's a lot of people out here who give up on their dreams and they scrap it. And they start getting mad at God, like, where were you when I was hurt? Where were you when I was trying to live this dream?
Yeah.
Tell them that it's not too late, man. And give some word of wisdom to those who need to chase the dreams.
You know, my thought process, and I believe I was raised by parents that walked by faith and believed that faith really is like if you just hang on to your faith, whatever God has placed in your heart, any dream, any vision that you've seen, anything, any prophecy that has ever been spoken, every word that has been spoken over your life, you have to force force yourself to hang on to that word and stand on it and say, God, you promised. God, you said that this was going to happen. And if you let your faith waver and say, well, I don't have the money, then you're going to give up and it's not going to happen. But what happened for me was that God told me to do a live recording, and I knew I didn't have the money. Right. And I knew, I was like, who am I going to use? What am I going to do? And it was like everything that I needed, God sent it. And so then when it got done to be completed, I was like, well, now I don't have the money to mix and master. That's expensive. I don't have the, the branding, blah, 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 and everything. And God sent sponsors. God will send everything that you need. And my favorite motto is, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. And He'll take care of it.
Yeah, I just got that.
That's good.
Got that.
Put that on a t-shirt. I'm going to buy that t-shirt.
Yeah, most definitely. Listen, we really enjoyed having you out here with us tonight. Tell people how they can reach you on social media.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all as Cristabel Clack. Cristabel. And you know what? You can also find my single on iTunes and Amazon, Google Play. It's called Pour It Out.
All right. So, it's not on SoundCloud, is it?
No, it's not.
They have to buy it, man. Every single artist on this episode, please buy the music. Please don't bootleg nothing, man. You catch one that bootlegs, man, just tell them stop, please. Support these artists.
And show me how you did it. No, I'm just playing. Listen, Cristabel, thank you again so much for being so gracious. My man here, he's gonna take us out like he always do.
Yes, sir. Number one, man, Josh Hurt. When you listen to this episode, I think we broke the world record. How many times we mentioned your name? The whole time of this show. But it's worth it because, man, this worship gathering event here at RBC Resurrection Baptist Church, man, you did your thing, bro. And I think, I know, y'all two can put me on this, man. You are going to be doing bigger and better things with these events. Like that one guy, was it Rene Abraham? Yeah. He said, I'm going to tag along with him. This is going to be cities.
Absolutely.
She's going nationwide. You're changing nations. You're changing nations with what God is doing through you. And the fact that you are willing is absolutely awesome.
Amen.
Absolutely awesome. Listen,
thank you so much.
You've been tuned in to I Am Refocused podcast.
Yes, sir. And Y.O, Mr. Dre Coop in the building. And we have Miss Cristabel Clack. Please support her music. She's doing her thing. And we never, ever want to close this broadcast because we got more interviews, y'all. Thank you for hanging in because you guys are the best. We want to say, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got Josh Hurt, man. He's sweating. I hope his voice, I hope he still has some voice in him. But you know what? Don't go away. Don't touch that iPhone. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. We will be right back.
Y'all.
This is I Am Refocused podcast, and we've been here all night, at the worship gathering with the host, the one. Give me that beat, man. Because you gotta have the best introduction. Because he's the main one. I ain't dropping no bars because I'm not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But the one and only Josh Hurt. Man, I need your autograph, man.
No, bro.
I need yours, man.
Big shout out to Josh Hurt.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you, bro. Before we get real deep into this, I just got to put this out in the world. Josh Hurt wrote us a letter.
What?
Saying thank you.
I did.
And I was blown away. Because number one, before we even did this interview, we were sitting here and Josh, every time someone's coming by, I love you. I'm a fan of you. I'm like, yo, man, this says a lot. Wow. This whole experience was real.
Real conversation, Josh. You're very personable.
Exactly.
For somebody to be, and I don't want to make it sound big-headed or anything, to be so elevated, you really are grounded. You humble yourself and you speak to everybody.
Thank you.
Man, do you ever think, and this is hypothetical, but do you ever think you're going to get out of that? Like, if you get, like, way out there?
I don't think I will at this present moment in my life, because I understand that every blessing, every gift, every opportunity God gives me, I understand that it's all Him. I finally had that clear revelation that my gift, my talent, the spirit, the anointing, the opportunities, it's really, really Him. And I think as long as I keep that before me, I will stay in that place.
Really? So why haven't you responded to me when I called?
Oh my God! He gonna just go for it. Oh God!
Got him.
He got me.
Hold on. Can you imagine Josh Hurts every time something happens on his phone? He get a missed call. Do that one time, Josh.
Oh my God!
Every time he
That was Julie Thompson. Oh my God! That was Dre Coop.
I love this, man. So if someone cut you off in traffic, do that again.
Oh my God!
That's y'all need to put that on y'all. What do they call it? The little soundtrack or whatever they call it, sound bite. So instead of cursing somebody in bad traffic, just go ahead and play Josh.
Oh my God! I'm so ready.
And on radio, you don't have to worry about FCC no more because you won't play that.
Oh my God!
I am serious. Man. They got horns that you can do that too. Yeah, could you turn I want that on my horn.
I didn't know that. We can work on it.
I want that on my horn. Oh my God! Listen, Josh. Yeah. Serious note. God gave you. Look, he's still now even waving to people.
Man, I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm excited. It was such a great night.
I love it, man, because God gave you a huge vision.
Yes, sir.
Super vision.
Yes, sir.
And you brought like 12. I'm going to just say 12. And you carried the concert all the way through without a break. Wow. First of all, big up to your musicians.
Oh, man, they were amazing. Crazy amazing. Yeah, big up to my band, Jermon Sands, Tayshawn Tyler, Justin Crawford, that's AJ Hodges, and my brass section, Kevin Davidson, Joe Trumpet Williams. Man, he right here. They was killing, man.
Don't forget the trombone.
And the trombone, I can't remember his name. What's the trombone? I'm so tired.
Let's give him about 5 seconds of fame.
And the trombone.
Come to the mic.
Come on, Joe. Where that trumpet?
Come on, bro. Give him a shout out, man.
Give a shout out to my person together. Come on, bro. Just want to give a shout out to Jesus, first of all, for every opportunity. And my name is Joe Trumpet from Houston, Texas. The worship gathering was super dope. It's always dope.
Yeah. Man. When people talk about your lips, what you tell them? I'm just saying, because everybody always got something to say.
What I say is, the Bible says, your gift will make room.
Yes, that's right.
Is your gift making room for you?
That's right. My lips have made room.
Evidently, mine are making room for me. Oh my God! Yeah, my lips are making room. No shade.
No shade. Real talk. Excited to have you here, man. Y'all work those trumpets. You work the horn section. And Josh.
Yes.
What would you say to the horn section right now? Just a personal to them.
I want to thank them, like, for real. It's something about horns. When you incorporate the horns, you want to give my little thing?
Yeah.
It's something about horns. When horns are added to the musician section, because most churches don't have that.
Right.
When they play, they add something so special. And to me, the trumpet was created to be like a declarative instrument, because it pierces the atmosphere.
It does.
It's like, I don't care what's happening right now. This is the sound that's going to be heard. It's kind of like you in the house and your kids are going crazy, your wife is going crazy, everybody arguing, and then the daddy say, "Hey, everybody listen to me." It's like you get their attention. It's like everybody listen. But so when the trumpet and the brass, when they play and it pierces through the atmosphere, it's like, and of course he be hitting one anointed note.
Right.
It's like a clarion call that causes everybody to focus on God in that moment. So I'm grateful. That's all I want to say. I'm grateful for you, Joe, my brother.
Look, thank you for every opportunity.
That's my brother.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for my little time.
Thank
Josh,
you, man.
Overall, Josh, how would you wrap tonight up? How would you surmise tonight?
I would say unity.
Wait, time out.
You and I
Hey,
too.
I'm about to tell you how. I'm gonna tell you real quick. Crazy Amazing is a project Josh was talking about on I'm Refocused podcast at the barbershop. What he just said right there, unity. You and many other artists have been speaking things that we were touching with other artists prior to your interview.
Wow.
So that's living proof
And
how crazy amazing God is.
That was
unity has been repetitive. This
crazy amazing.
Confirmation.
Can you believe that, man?
Yes, I do. Man,
I mean, this event.
I'm so honored. Y'all about to make me run around. Can I take this? Is this portable?
Hey, wait till the
Is this
commercial break.
portable? Because I'm finna.
No, it's not portable.
Wait till the
I feel
commercial break.
Jesus.
Listen, Josh, I mean, you did something, to be honest with you. You did something that not a lot of great artists do.
Yes, sir.
I mean, when your name is the headliner on the flyer and all of that, they didn't do what you did tonight, which is allowed everyone else.
Okay.
You allowed everyone else to praise and worship God. You let so many people come up.
That's
and
good.
You
know
look
why?
content. You look content.
You know why?
Preach.
God, I'm gonna get in trouble because my mama gonna go off for me tonight. My mama go off every time after these events because she don't understand why I don't sing more. She's like, well, a lot of your support system comes to these events to hear you sing. Why you pass the mic so much? And I mean, she's a spiritual woman. She just likes me. She's my biggest fan.
Yeah, she was on my station.
And I've learned that and I have to be obedient to God because I have to charge my phone soon. Okay, anyway. You got it? Okay, perfect. Okay.
Ain't God good?
Ain't God good? No, because what God is doing in this season, He's breaking up our mindset. He's shifting our perspective because everybody, especially in gospel music, we look at that artist mindset like, okay, I'm an artist. It's my music. If I put on an event, it's always for me. It's for me to promote myself. It's for me to promote myself and promote my own music. But what God's been giving me is show people the example that you can invest in an event and put everybody else on the platform because it's about unity and put different styles of music, different vocalists, different types of tones. It's not about you; it's about the kingdom. And so somebody needed to shift that perspective and be the example. And so the fact that God gave me so much influence in San Antonio, I'm grateful. So I'm not gonna lie; I love to sing. So sometimes I want to get there and just but that's not the vision God gave me. So I don't go ahead, bro.
I just have to say this real quick. Pastor Brown just told us this.
Did he?
Yeah, he just told us this.
See, like for instance, we got this here. We got this Leave 'Em Laughing comedy jam.
I love it.
This is my production.
Yes, sir.
But you don't see my face on the flyer.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
And the way you got up there on that stage tonight, you were like, look, bless him.
Yeah.
And you over in the stand and running across the stage.
Because it's about God and His presence. And the kingdom mindset says it doesn't matter who touches the mic. The kingdom mindset doesn't matter who preaches or gets the glory because the glory doesn't belong to them. It belongs to God. So some folks be like, well, you on the flyer, we came to hear you sing. God came to hear you sing.
Yes.
God wants our praise. God wants us to exalt Him.
Man.
So we have to shift our mindset and stop going and just hear our favorite artists as believers and be what believers are supposed to do and just worship God.
I'm gonna
magnify Him. Come on.
That's one of the most fantastic times I've had.
This is strike number 3.
Y'all enjoyed it?
Man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say this. We still here.
Y'all still here.
We did not pack up and hurry
People
up
are
and
still
run out
chilling.
the door.
They must be in.
You know, I'm going to say this, man. We had a brother here, Rene Abraham.
That's my brother.
And he spoke something into existence.
Oh my God.
He said, catch this, man. Get ready for this. TD Jakes, get ready.
Get ready.
What he said earlier about this thing that you just did, the worship gathering. It was in the city of San Antonio, but he said it's going to be cities. But you know what, Dre?
You know,
it's actually countries.
Come on
podcast,
now. Speak.
This podcast is heard in 13 countries every single week.
Oh, man. You got your bags packed, Josh? I'm ready. We going to Zimbabwe. Just saying.
I'm ready. I've been practicing my Wakanda thing. Is Wakanda in Zimbabwe?
I'm going to tell you, man.
Wakanda,
it's
Zimbabwe.
A pleasure sitting here with Josh, but he has really gone by me several times.
You know what? I'm sorry. I was focused. Forgive me.
He was waiting for this moment.
I was waiting for this moment.
He's waiting for this moment.
He's passed me up. I called him to get on the show with me.
I'm sorry.
I ain't got none of his music on my station.
One preacher's.
You know what? Breaking news.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you this, Pastor Coop. A preacher said one day, delay is not denial.
Oh my God!
You better delay is not denial. He received that word. Delay is not denial. This is the moment. This is the season.
You know I'm going to do it, right?
But you know what's crazy though? I do have a team that God's blessed me with to do my business for me because I feel like I am a really nice person. Like I said, I'm very personal and I connect with everybody. And before you know it, I'll be at events and I just shake everybody's hands and hug everybody. And people do the same thing with me to where sometimes I'm not focused on the task. Right. And so my team has been shaking me up like you got to sit down somewhere and get focused and focus on the task. And even outside of events, you know, I say yes to everybody. Josh, do this. I'm like, yes, sure. Why not? It's kingdom. I'm ready. Hey, ma'am, I love you. That's one of my newest staff members. She lives in Dallas.
All right.
And she drove all the way down, registered, and worked so hard. But anyway.
Hey, wait, hold on. Bring him to the mic.
Come on, Pam. Come on.
Don't get your 5 minutes of fame.
And she's well known. She's an organizer of a lot of big events. And she asked Josh, can I be a part just on my staff? And I said, you're kidding me. You want to come over here and talk to us for a second?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. We've never done this in the history of this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have her get on the mic.
Yeah.
And I want you to introduce the world to her.
I will.
All right?
I'll do that.
Ask her a couple questions.
I got you.
All right.
Okay. Can we replay the intro?
I am Refocused. This is our I am Refocused podcast.
Oh my God!
And you now are on with Josh Hurd.
Don't leave. Love you. Okay, this is. I play my other thing music. Jiggity Josh, jiggity jiggity Josh, jiggity Josh on the microphone. All right, let's do this. So check it out, world. Refocus. Here we are. You know what I'm saying? And this is Josh Hurd on the mic thing with the circle thing around it. And my guest at this time is the Tamela Bell from DFW. Say hi to the people, Tamela.
I'm actually from Detroit.
You're from Detroit originally, but you reside in...
I reside in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, what made you move to DFW? Let's talk.
God. It was strictly God, a faith move.
What happened? He just spoke to you?
He said, get out of Detroit fast.
What? Okay, we're going to go... But you felt the move of God to come this way.
Yes, it was definitely a faith move.
So tell the people a little bit about what you do. When I met you, you were the assistant for...
I was assistant.
You was assisting.
And I still assist her.
You still, you better go. Miranda Curtis.
Miss Miranda Curtis.
She's well known, travels the world.
But I assist her. I'm not her assistant.
You assist her.
Yes,
okay.
and I love her.
You will love her. Mm-hmm. So do you assist other artists as well? And
I do.
You do different events and stuff. Tell us just a couple of seconds about it.
I'm part of the production team for the Mega Fest, for the Village Escrow.
T.D. Jakes and them?
Yes. Up under the leadership of Wonderful Rebecca.
I need to hit that button. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And
that was good.
And I'm getting ready to do production for this wonderful event for breast cancer patients called GlamCon DFW.
Oh wow.
And
my God. You just do everything, man.
Whatever God puts in my pocket.
Wow, that's why I love your heart and your spirit. And so why are you here with us today? You connected with us and said, I want to help, I want to assist. What made you do that?
It was when I came, I was assisting at that time Miranda, the first one I came to, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And
I'm about to cry.
Yeah, it's just a heart for people and to seeing people worship, and I am a true worshiper. I'm actually shy. For me to be doing this is like a lot, because I don't like being, I am shy.
Okay.
But, yes. So I'm just a crazy worshiper, and just to seeing people going in and everything, and even yesterday and today, I just jumped in.
So you enjoyed yourself. You feel connected to the vision. What do you see for the future of the worship gathering? I'm just curious. Do you see anything?
I see city to city.
Come on, somebody.
London, if you out there, worship gathering is what you want to bring. Canada, whoever else, Nova Scotia.
I ain't
going to Alaska with
Zimbabwe,
y'all.
Wakanda, forever. Wakanda's the city, forever is the country, the state. So anyway, girl, we're so grateful that you're here tonight with us at Refocused magazine, and we just want to just thank you for being here and having such a heart for God, and we love you. Thank you for being here. All right, and let's give it up for Pam.
Listen, before we go, Pam, thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. You moved me out of my seat so somebody else can have it. So, oh my God! No, listen, Josh. Do you have any projects coming out?
Oh my God! Well, I finally got a song, bro. I finally got a song. So we've been. I'm gonna be honest. Can I give a little backstory? We've been recording different stuff for the past forever. At least for the past 6-7 years. We've been at least the past 4 or 5 years. We've been working with different producers, doing different projects and stuff. But we never found somebody who really had vision to capture the sound God gave me. I'm a praise and worship leader. I'm not really a commercial singer. I can do stuff. I can do R&B if I wanted to. I could do inspirational, but God made me a worship leader. The music that I introduce and that I sing creates an atmosphere. It's about the heart for people to be changed in the atmosphere. So it's not about the riffs, the runs, the dope music or whatever. It's more so about worshiping God and allowing other people to partake in that. So anyway, we've been recording and stuff, and of course I try to operate with excellence, and we've been wanting to release stuff, but stuff wasn't done with excellence. I'm just going to be honest, a lot of wasted money. The long story short, recently God has blessed us to be introduced to the brother of Jabari Johnson. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Jabari Johnson. He serves TD Jakes. He's the guy who on the guitar.
Oh, okay.
He's really he's viral all over the place. He's doing some great things. Long story short, I met he came to our last worship gathering last year.
Yep.
Through him we met his brother Nicholas Johnson, who's an incredible producer. We connected up, got in the studio. He came to San Antonio, and we hashed it out, man. And we came out with this hot track called Crazy Amazing. That's who you are.
So
that's the song, bro.
When is it coming out?
It hits iTunes, I think, on the 28th
of this month.
What's today's date? Yeah, like in 5-6 days. Yeah, we gotta post it. Bro, we gotta post it.
It is 5 days from now, because that's when my show is.
5 days from now.
That's when my show is. Anyway, listen.
Crazy Amazing.
Crazy
It's gonna
Amazing.
be on iTunes, Amazon, on the 28th.
Midnight.
Something, I guess. Is that how it works? I don't know. In the morning. Come on, Pam, teach me. We got a song, y'all. Crazy Amazing.
Hey, man, now listen. Tell everyone where they can reach you on social media.
On social media, we have an artist page on Facebook. Look up I Am Josh Hurt. Facebook.com/ I Am Josh Hurt. On Instagram, I Am Josh Hurt. You can also book me at bookjoshhurt@gmail.com, or you can call other numbers and stuff.
Black Planet.
Yeah. On MySpace. MySpace.com/Josh Hurt and Black Planet. God loves me. Yeah,
that's MySpace. I'm Black Planet.
You black? And y'all can find me on Christian Mingle too.
Yeah.
Christian Mingle / I Am Josh Hurt.
You on Christian Mingle?
Sometimes. Listen, don't judge me.
I don't judge.
It's mingling for Christian. Christian Satan, ChristianMingle.com. I got a full account.
I don't judge, man. I mean, if he got it for you, you gonna get it. That's what it is. Listen, we had an amazing time with you, man. We want to say thank you so much. Got my man. Thank you. Got my man Shemaiah back on the mic. I'm gonna go. He asked me to close it out, but I'm gonna let him close it out because.
Can I say? Can I give a shout out to my stylist?
Give shout outs to everybody.
Regis Price. Come here, because this guy helps me look good at a lot of events. Yesterday he was late, and so I look kind of tacky. But I can't dress myself. Just come because they ain't got. Right.
Just talk.
So long story. I just want to say hi to Regis Price.
He's gonna make this man get out of his seat.
Tonight he made me put on a hat and some torn jeans. My knees are ashy, but we got through it. Just want to say hi to people, man. Regis Price.
Hey, this is how we're gonna do it, all right?
Okay, if you don't mind.
We're gonna give you opportunity because we're in 13 countries, bro.
Oh man.
I need you to give a little quick plug in. How can people book for your services?
Your services.
Cool. So I'm actually a lifestyle blogger online. I go by Where Is Kathy Lee, like Regis and Kathy Lee, old time show. I actually was named after that show when my mom was having me. That was the show that was on.
Wow.
So I take that, and so I go by Where's Kathy Lee on social media. On Facebook, you can go by Regis Price. I actually do not have. I'm always about building relationships. So normally people get me by either DMing me, inboxing me, but I'm a creative director, so that's how I kind of got with Josh as a stylist. I used to be a celebrity stylist. I did stuff for like Kiki Wyatt and people like that. So.
Yeah, Prince is looking for you.
Oh.
Which Prince? The Prince of...
hopefully a Zumanda.
And Wakanda. Quick, so he don't forget, this is a commercial. How can people reach you, man?
How can we connect with you? You ain't got no email address? You ain't got no?
Yeah, I got an email address.
Instagram? Is Instagram
you can get me at jabaricozy@gmail.com. Jabari Cozy is actually my line that is dropping later on this year. That is JABARIKOSEY@gmail.com. Or you can just book me through Josh Hurt.
Yeah, yes.
I mean,
if you forget all that, make sure you go to Josh Hurt's social media.
Look me up.
Yeah. Just ask for his stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tagged in a couple of pictures. So
just rewind on I Am Refocused. I'm just saying. Y'all can just rewind a little bit and hear it again.
Let's do it. And I'm a big fan of you guys as well. So
thank you, bro.
Follow you guys all the time. So.
Oh man, absolutely. Listen, we're gonna get up out of here. We had a fantastic night. Josh Hurt. He worshiped all night long and still took time to come by.
Wow.
I Am Refocused.
Oh man, I'm blessed.
Man. You go. Let's just do it one last time. Hit that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's the horn, y'all.
I think I hit it. Oh my God.
And do you?
I like that. I'm sorry.
Do you know what that means for all the listeners out there? I did all that getting up and getting down on purpose. Because most artists, no, all the artists, 100% all the artists in this event tonight was talking about unity. And we kept talking about there's no such thing as competition. That's why I'm trying to get everybody plugged. Because you know what? There's only one outlet that actually works.
Talk, man.
And that's God himself.
Just God.
So just like we say on every single show, keep God first.
Yes.
Keep God first.
Focus.
Stay focused.
And the last one, peace. Because I kind of hit that a little heavy on the microphone.
Yeah, you did. But listen, you got any more to add?
No, I was just going to say big shout out to Josh Hurt.
Thank you,
big
sir.
shout out to my road dog, Mr. Y.O. himself, Dre Coop.
I stop by when I can. I stop by when I can. Busy man I am.
Thank you.
But thank y'all so much.
This is awesome.
So this is it. I'm out.
And you know what? I know I said keep God first, stay focused and peace, but I'm going to switch up the change of closing this interview. I'm just going to say this, like Cristabel Clack said, go after your dream no matter what. I don't care what hater tells you can't do it. Go after your dream and keep God in that plan.
All right.
Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, y'all.
This is what we call a mic drop. This right now. Can you hit that? We're going to close with this. Hit that, oh my God, real quick.
Oh my God.
And that is I Am Refocused Podcast. We are out. See you next time.
Oh, yeah.